Good evening from Bobblehead Homestead. I am Jeff. Today is Saturday. It's like 6:30-ish. I don't know. I didn't plan on taking any video today. Some days I just want to do what I do and not film it, and today was one of those days. But I've got some cool stuff going on around here, so I thought I would share it as this car goes by. Oh, the little bearded 2-month-old is out foraging. Yes, good for you. Alright, so I'm out here in my front driveway, and yeah, that's the view at the end of the lane. There's only my cool neighbor with the cows, there's a house over there, and then me. We're the only ones on this lane, so there's well, there's a lot of tractor traffic from my neighbor going out to the fields to do hay and stuff. But this is where I have my morning glories and my climbing hyacinth planted. These are the climbing hyacinth flowers. These flower and they precede the purple beans that come later. So I've got some nice blooms coming out of the climbing hyacinth right now. So that's they're a good ornamental bean. I think they are edible at some point. I don't remember. I looked them up a long time ago, but they're just cool little plants, and thought I'd give them a try. So yeah, and I really like these flowers. They're small, but they're cool little purple and pinkish. Yeah, and I got some more beans that I can collect the seeds out of, so I will. And I've got more left from Uncle Hoss. He sent me these, so yeah, very cool. Oh yeah, I've been letting number 2 and her 4 little meeps out, you know, in the evening for a little while. And they've already figured out how to get outside the fencing. And that's cool because there's plenty of grass and stuff out here. So I am happy. In fact, I would, they were eating out of my hand earlier, all 4 of them. So that was cool. So I wouldn't mind letting number 2 and these 4 free range. I don't know how to do the logistics of that, but that could be coming. A couple weeks ago, there was an incident with a weed eater and my gourds. So today I finally got around to following the dead vines and picking some of the gourds, and this is what I have. Can I get an overhead shot? Yeah, these are just, I think they're called small fancy gourds, and so yeah, cool. I also got some loofahs. Let's look at those. Yep, well, the one on the left is already dried out for me, so that'll be interesting. The one in the middle is almost dried out, and the one on the right, I guess I got it before it completely dried out. And then we have this one. Ah! All the chickens ran when I screamed. Sorry, little dudes. Yeah, that's the lizard thing that Doug and Ashley found in that old house shed thing. But yeah, 3 loofah gourds here that I went ahead and picked because the vines that they were on were dead. Yeah, in front of this pallet thing, I had 4 gourds, and they didn't make it, and that's cool because I got plenty more. And let's go look at. There's a loofah gourd. That one just started. Man, those things, once they start, they just go bonkers. Look at these 3. That one was just a little itty bitty one like the first one, and then I got 2 more there. And I got another dumpster full of trash in this shed. But yeah, 4 more loofahs that I can see anyway, and I can't see them all. And in there you can see a bottle gourd. My first bottle gourd that's recognizable anyway has started to grow, so that's encouraging. Before I show you a few other really cool things that have popped up, yeah, I'm wearing the same shirt as yesterday. I don't even care. I'm a minimalist when it comes to laundry, what can I say? But I went to the farmer's market in Danville. That is, it's like 28 miles away from me. It's the closest one. There were 3 vendors today, and there were 3 vendors last weekend, and there were 3 vendors the weekend before, and the weekend before that there were 0, and the weekend before that there were 0, and the weekend before that there were 2, and the weekend before that there were 0. And so yeah, it is well, Danville is population like 2,000 maybe. So there's just not a big demand for it, and bless their hearts, they are trying it anyway. And it's Saturday morning, which is the same time as the farmers markets in both Russellville and Dardanelle. And Russellville and Dardanelle are right next to each other, and they still have a farmers market at the same time. So I don't know, but so yeah, that's a few people have been asking about my sales at farmers markets, and there just isn't one. You know, the closest one is an hour away in Dardanelle. The one in Russellville is Pope County Farmers Market, and I do not live in Pope County. I live in Yell County. So yeah, Dardanelle is in Yell County, and but that's a different story. I have sold you know, dozens of flowers, but I'm not going to talk about my business right now anyway, because, you know, why risk saying anything that might be perceived as not good? So I'm just not talking about that right now, but I have sold some flowers. There's just not a big market for what I have, and I don't have, you know, I've got zinnias and orange cosmos. That's really about the extent of it. But now the dahlias are starting to come in. I only had, you know, 4 of the Tithonia Mexican sunflower plants, so not, you know, I haven't had a ton to sell, and if I did sell them, you know, selling them at retail prices at a market would be much better for me, because if you're selling to like a florist, for example, they have to put their markup on it to cover their overhead also, and so they're not going to pay you retail prices and then, you know, and then turn around and charge their customers premium prices. It just doesn't work like that. I do not have a big population around here. Little Rock would be the largest city, and that's over 2 hours away. What's Little Rock? Maybe 500,000 people. And then, you know, Russellville's like 50,000. Fort Smith is probably about the same, 50,000. And then the next big city would be like Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that's over 3 hours away. So I don't have a big farmer's market to go sell at. And that's, you know, that's one of the drawbacks of being way out in the country. I am 7 miles from the nearest gas station. 7 miles from the nearest gas station. My P.O. box is, what, 16 miles away? And that would be the nearest town. There's a Dollar General there that has, well, you know, they have what Dollar Generals have. But that would be the closest store to me. And then Boonville and Danville are the closest cities. Danville, I think, is like 2,000 people. There's a grocery store there. Boonville has a grocery store, and they've got a Walmart, not a super Walmart, just one of the old style regular Walmarts. And they've got some other stuff in Boonville. Boonville, I think, is population about 4,000. So that's one thing. You know, I get a lot of suggestions, but I don't think they realize just how far out in the country. They're a great channel also. But they don't realize how out in the country I really am. There's no population around here, and, you know, what is it, 18 miles to my post office box? Well, my truck gets 18 miles per gallon, so that's 2 gallons of gas for me to go check my mail. And I am, you know, I'm not rich. I am not a rich person that can just throw money at gasoline. So, anyway, just interjected there. Now let's go look at a few more cool things. Yeah, these things popped up. That's a pallet, and that is my kitchen window. It's closed right now, but So the cats can climb up the pallet and up into the window and down out of the window. But these are several names for them. Spider lilies, hurricane lilies. That might not be the best term right now. But yeah, they called them hurricane lilies because they bloom during hurricane season. But these just pop through a tiny crevice in these old boards, and I had no idea they were there. They just popped up. And there, I've got two more bunches of them. Let's go look. Yeah. Yeah. These are just so unique with the... Well, I see why they call them spider lilies. They got those long... those might be the pistils. But, yeah, these are just really cool. Just really cool. And I am out here in front of the mobile home. And they're right next to a tree. And yeah, don't expect me to get anything done in a hurry. I've got all winter to get that stuff out of there. But yeah, some nice surprise lilies of whatever variety they are. They are gorgeous. And I got some more of them. Let's look. Oh, that's a pea. That is a pea, and it looks like it found the old mattress, so keep growing, dude. It's been 90 degrees, and it's gonna be 90 degrees for a few days, so hopefully you make it through it. Oh yeah, this is a nice group of them with a couple more over there and some more that are coming up, but these are just very cool lilies. I'm assuming they're in the lily family, but just so cool. So yeah, I gotta mark this spot so I know where they're at to dig them up when I move them. And this is a rose bush I didn't even know I had until this little bloom came out. Nice. I am here along the lane, and that's one of the rock wall things that was out here by the lane. But yeah, I had no idea there was a rose bush there, but it's blooming right now. See, that's one benefit of not doing a lot of weed eating, which I haven't been doing for the past month, and the weeds have kind of taken over. There's a canna lily blooming. Cool. Oh yeah, remember when I chopped all this Chinese privet down to the ground? It's grown back, and it's about 6 feet tall already. So that stuff just is insane. I mean, you chop it down and then it starts growing out of the roots. So you chop a big tree down and it turns itself into a bigger tree. So I'm going to be battling this this Chinese privet for quite a while. It's blocking the view of all my zinnias from people coming down the road. That's a bummer. And one of these cosmos has finally started blooming up a storm, a pink one. I started these indoors and then planted them outdoors. And they grew so tall and they all fell over and it was a big old fail. But yeah, now they start blooming. Oh, and there was a rose bush in the middle of this row, and those roses have started blooming again too. So yeah, it's less of a fail than it was about a month ago. And there's even some darker, can I zoom in? Some darker purple cosmos. Oh, come on, focus. It's not going to focus. But there's a bush of those. But I've got a bunch of pink ones that are finally blooming, even though the rest of them have... I gave up on these. They all started falling over. There was nothing I could do about it. But lesson learned for next year is these pink cosmos are fall bloomers. So I can wait to plant those until, late June, early July, and they'll be good. And then this is right here. This is my zinnia patch, and like I said, I stopped weeding and weed eating about a month ago. So it is what it is. The butterflies still show up. I've still got some really good specimens, but these are all just common zinnias that you can buy the seeds for at Walmart. And so the you know, the florists and people like that really aren't all that interested in the common zinnias. They like the better ones, and that's fine with me. This year was just a learning experience. Oh, that is a two Seminole pumpkins actually. There's one going along this way, and then this one is going the other way. So two Seminole pumpkins doing very well, and that's a corn in there. That is interesting. And I've got these two little corns. They got tassels, and they've even got a little ear of corn that have started down there. I do not expect anything out of these. They were just thrown in the ground for the fun of it, and these were, I don't remember what variety they are, but they were supposed to be ready in like 70 days, so that's why I did them. So we'll see. If nothing else, it'll be a little snack for one or two of the chickens maybe. And these sunflowers are about done, and that's cool. I've had about a dozen goldfinch that have just been chowing down on them this week, and so I am happy about that. But so those sunflowers are done, but these Tithonia Mexican sunflowers are just getting started, and a few of them have already bloomed. So I'm going to try to save some. Well, I'm going to save as many seeds as I can, but definitely the Tithonia. I want to grow more of those next year. Hey Bob, what are you doing over there? Oh, and here we have a pole bean that has found the pole, and it's all right. Look at this. Yeah, I might actually have a handful of beans here at some point. I'll take it. Bob, you were a chilled out cat before we got you fixed, and so I'm hoping you're still a chilled out cat. You just got to be nice to Grumpy, because there's nothing you can do about it. And if you keep chasing him, I'm going to keep putting you in the cage while he eats. That's just how it works around here, Bob. Oh yeah, there's a couple nice Tithonia Mexican sunflower. Come on, focus. Anyway, these are really cool flowers, and they have very long stems, and the stems are very soft. So I like those. I'm going to grow them again. Yeah, that's a really nice dahlia. That is really nice. This patch has been neglected as far as weeds go, but a lot of yellow ones. Yeah. And then some nice ones over here, and so I like the dahlias. Courtesy of Tiny Hilltop. He sent me the seeds. Probably 75% of the stuff that I grew this year were gifts, so thank you again to everybody. This one wasn't a gift. This is a volunteer. That is a passion vine, passion fruit. So, yeah, those have been blooming for a while out here. This is a little patch of gladiolas, and it just volunteered. Cool for me. Oh, Fifi laying in the hay. Yeah, just a quick Grumpy update. That's Fifi, that's not Grumpy. Let's see. Last night I brought Grumpy in the house at dark, and I closed the door, but I left the kitchen window open, and he got a lot of good scratches last night every time I came out, and everything was wonderful. And when I woke up this morning, Grumpy was gone. So I had left the kitchen window open so he could get out, and he decided to get out, and I haven't seen him yet today. But what I will probably do, as here comes Bob, and you're not Bob. That's Bob. Yeah, I'm about to, it's almost dark, so I'm about to feed these guys. And when they go inside, I will close the door, and then hopefully they'll be preoccupied, and I can feed Grumpy without Bob trying to chase him. Bob, what are you doing? What are you doing, Bob? Just being playful. See, why can't you just be playful with Grumpy instead of being a meanie? I think you'll come around. Aww. Okay, that's it.